Gayatri Mahamantra. With your both hands on your laps, left beneath the right, back straight. Om Bhuribhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. We are today upon the ninth part of this ongoing series of mystical Gayatri Mahamantra under the Saturday Sattva program. Our great ancient seers had envisaged and bestowed us simple acts, simple ordinary kriyas that can be done merely through water in order to consolidate our awareness before embarking upon any spiritual pursuit of a higher order, especially the japa, Gayatri japa for our upasana. These simple kriyas have only one single objective. And what is that? To facilitate the awareness roll back inward. These kriyas, these acts, kriya means act, these small acts, small ritual, they bring us upon the flow of this ongoing movement of now, this present movement. In the last episode, two such kriyas were brought to your notices, namely the purification and the achman. And now we move on to the next ones. The kriya that we are going to take up right now is for the purpose to raise your awareness to a higher order. It's all about awareness. Who has to perform the japa? Your awareness. Who is going to benefit out of the energy of the japa? Your awareness. And subsequently, the outcome of your evolved awareness is going to be in the form of your perceptions, decisions, and so on and so forth. So, before immersion into the spiritual pursuit of japa, it is mandatory that in order to have transactions with the cosmic mind, the level of preparedness has to be of the highest order. Highest order. So now these transactions are with the cosmic mind. They benefit us in the mode of our clarity in thoughts, meaningful imaginations, understanding and trying to decipher the intuitive inputs. And of course, yes, the subtle dimension renders a lot of inspiration to us during moments when there is great pressure, distress, with special reference. For this, we perform a very special kriya known as the Shikha Vandan. Shikha means the summit, the highest top of any peak. That is termed as the Shikha, the Shikhar. So this is Shikha Vandan, paying obeisance, recognizing, paying respect, or rather making yourself aware about the summit, the subtle region of that summit within our own body. Although it is the part of our yogic anatomy, yet its location can be very easily spotted externally on the physical dimension as well. It's a special subtle region within a head, which is also known as Bindu Chakra. It's right over here. If I'm pinpointing, you may not be able to see the exact point, but it's right here. The point where from you can approximately understand as if the pivot, it's sort of a pivot over here, this centrifugal point over here, that is the place for the Shikha, the summit. Now, the understanding goes that our communication with the cosmic mind to and fro, it transpires through this subtle region of Shikha. Now, this highly important subtle center in our physical body is, in a way, a receiver and a transmitter of our communication with the cosmic mind. It's all about connectivity, isn't it? And the importance of connectivity is very well understood in the physical dimension as well. Our gadgets, especially the one which is today the platform for everything, it all renders most of its functions crossing all boundaries through connectivity. So the same transpires in the subtle dimension within us through this subtle center that we term as Shikha. Shikha Bandhan is a kriya, it's an act, it's a ritual to draw our awareness with intensity. The awareness has to be very intense upon this subtle center in order to ensure that our communication with the cosmic mind remains clear and uninterrupted, devoid of any packet loss. If I may use the word from the technical terms that people use, it's the loss of packet loss. There is no loss of packet loss. All manifestation from the cosmic mind in any form may be absorbed by my understanding with clarity and speed. I should be able to convey with clarity the seeking. I should be able to absorb with clarity and speed the sought. Now, this Bindu Chakra, as it is termed in the Shastra, Bindu Chakra, commonly known as the Shikha, in common parlance known as the Shikha, which means summit in the English, for the purpose of its higher significance, a special observation was kept by the people during earlier times. Even now today, especially the Brahmins, they do observe, not all of them, but mostly those who are engaged into ritualistic order, they try to retain the presence of this Shikha on their own head. Now, how is it done? This special observation is practiced through a crest, a grown string of few hairs. You grow few hairs, a few strings of hairs, and then tie a knot upon them. That may appear to be odd to few, but it holds a very high significance when it comes to the parlance of awareness. In the realms of awareness, these small observations matter a lot. They matter a lot. However different they may appear to you, however, you may say this seems to be very different and typical kind, but no, they hold a very important significance in the realms of our awareness. The only purpose, the primary purpose, I would say, for such an observance was to remind one's own self about the special significance of the transactions with and within the cosmic mind. That anything and everything that I perceive, I think, I contemplate, I seek, I ponder upon, I ideate, I envision, I imagine, I think, is going to transpire through a communication with the cosmic mind. So, therefore, this held a very special significance, so that I am reminded every moment while thinking, for my decision making, that this subtle region is the one that connects me to the cosmic mind, and I must seek clarity with speed at all times when it comes to draw understanding. So it may take a while for the new ones who have come across these particular rituals to absorb it. But for those in India who have been born and brought up in India, very well understand the details of this particular Shikha, this observation. Under this Kriya, we perform it by taking some water, because water acts as the medium to absorb our intention and then project it upon us or convey it to us the way we want. It acts as the intermediary in the gross form. So we take some water, little water in the left hand, and immerse these 5 fingers of the right hand into that water, and 5 fingers represents the five Panch Mahabhutas, the five elements. And then when they are those wet fingers dipped into the water, then we touch this Bindu Chakra, this Shikha, this summit, this point over here. We tie the knot of a few strings of hairs. We just touch over here, and then we chant a mantra. We chant a mantra. While we chant the mantra, the fingers remain here. The observation, the focus goes to the Bindu Chakra with the same seeking, which is the message of the mantra. What is the message of the mantra? It's a prayer. It's a yearning, it's a seeking from the mother. The cosmic mind we yearn towards in the form of a mother, the Gayatri. And we seek from her, "O the great divine mother, bestow unto me so that I absorb." Bestow what? Well, it will come, don't worry. Bestow unto me so that I may absorb your divine radiance. O divine mother, bestow unto me so that I may absorb your divine radiance. Let the flow of the manifestation of your divine bliss, let the flow of the manifestation of your divine bliss enhance and establish within me. In Sanskrit, as we chant it, Om Chidrupane Mahamaye Divya Tejo Samanvite Tishtha Devi Shikha Madhe Tejo Vriddhim Kurushvame. So this is what we chant, and we also have to undergo that experience, although it is in the form of an imagination initially, that we have now focused, apportioned ourselves to this region, and we are seeking from the mother that clarity and speed of the data which has to come down from the cosmic mind as a transaction in return to our seeking. We keep on seeking many things. We keep on seeking enough within our own brain, within our own mind, upon different subjects of our life, ranging from the most mundane ones to the most important ones. So, this particular ritual, this kriya, this act, is to raise the levels of your awareness to highest order in order to transact with clarity and speed with the cosmic mind. The benefits one should seek through such an invocation is that whatever the seeker contemplates upon or transpires with absolute clarity and speed, whatever one intends to determine is the most appropriate in the light of one's seeking. So in total, the processing potential should increase to its optimum. Processing potential of your brain, your mind, your brain, both used as a synonym over here, although they are very different, but let us use it in common parlance. The fourth kriya that we undergo before the japa, all these what I'm mentioning in the form of an explanation may appear to be something as very extensive, but when you do it, everything happens within just 2 minutes. Even within less than 120 seconds, you are done with them. All of them. Not only these four, but even if I'll go on to mention two more, all the 6 acts can easily be dispensed within 120 to 140 seconds. That's all it takes, not more than that. For the purpose of explanation, it may take time, but once you understand it and you enshrine the understanding within yourself, it goes on like that. The next act or kriya that we go on to commence is the nyasa. Nyasa in English can be understood as holding or retention. In Hindi we term it as dharna karna, to imbibe. Imbibe is also, there can be several words in order to approximate the understanding of this term nyasa. Holding or retention. Holding a special virtue of purity within our sensorial drivers. The sensorial drivers that transact business of our lives inward, outward. Can you do the business of your life without sensorial drivers? No, you cannot. The outward business of the life is to commence, is to be dispensed by the sensorial driver. Even within ourselves, barring the deep meditation, all and every acts are transpired through the subtle aspects of the sensorial drivers that we term them as a source by the name Tanamatra. Now, the actual indication and the message is for the driver of our senses, not exactly the senses. Senses are merely a product of something which has to degenerate, decay. That is, in terms, if I use a very rough term for that, they are made out of leather, isn't it? It's made out of skin. It's made out of the mutable body, which is undergoing mutation every moment, isn't it? So it's not the message which has to be given to the senses, but through senses, the message must go on to their driver, the one that determines where they have to be deployed and for what purposes they have to be deployed. This observation moves inward as a reverse signal from outward to inward. This particular kriya, act or ritual, is a message to your own self, although you perform it outwardly, but it's a reverse signal going inward. To whom? One who determines where they have to be deployed. Now, nyasa is a kriya, an act or a ritual. It's a direct message to the determining authority of these senses that now I am going to embark upon a pursuit of a higher order. Therefore, instill all discipline at all ends. Pin drop silence, children, no noise. For now there shall be no room for any unmindful wandering towards any seeking of allurements. This kriya, this act, this ritual prohibits and purifies all sensorial drivers before an important act, before entering into an important act, which is our Upasana Gayatri Japa. To perform this kriya, we take a little water in the left hand, again, the same water which absorbs our intention. And after taking little water in the left hand, we again dip our 5 fingers representing 5 elements and then proceed on by touching our sensorial drivers one by one. Here, 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 to the arms and to the legs even. So it's not only the mouth, the nostril, the ears, the eyes, but as well as the arms and the thighs as well. So it includes knowledge oriented sensorial drivers and action oriented as well. When you take into account the arms and the legs, means action oriented. So these senses which are knowledge oriented are purified, brought to a higher order, and at the same time you also purify the action oriented sense in the form of your arms and your thighs, that is the legs. So, and this includes the entire physical body. Mere indication, not necessarily that you have to go on to even those action oriented sensory organs which are for 2 different purposes. So we are all inclusive into it. It is considered to be included. So now through these body parts, the message is injected to one's own self. The actual one, the message goes to that actual one which is all out and with all preparedness, ready to wander. Every passing second it wants to wander. It wants to wander, not wander, but wander. It wants to wander unmindfully. So the message is for that. So that it says, you don't have to conspire now. You don't have to conspire to move around unmindfully. Now you are being prepared to undergo a spiritual pursuit of a very high order. So therefore, be at ease, lie low, lie dormant, let that important activity transpire at the depths of your existence so that the serious business can be dispensed within. And who can do so? Who can bring the order and upon whom the order has to be brought? Here, your will, strong will, has to bring order upon your wandering mind. So it's a kind of an alarm, a premonition raised to the mind to now discipline yourself. Sincere, accomplished, sincerely, if you accomplish these kriyas facilitate seamless manifestation of the flow of divine bliss and energy, taking your attention to the highest levels. If you are totally engaged while doing it, as one of the great exalted masters had mentioned, that you can learn how to focus your attention to small mundane acts that you perform in your daily life. Even if for the men, while you're shaving or brushing your teeth, if you remain absolutely focused upon that flow of those acts, you can learn how to focus and concentrate. The same goes without any gender bias even for ladies. They can concentrate while they are doing their own makeup, be there wherever they are, or whatever they do in their own kind of activities, not wandering anywhere, but trying to retain your entire focus to that act. So likewise, here these are spiritual kriyas meant for spiritual purpose as a preparation before entering into that experiment, I am calling experiment of a higher order of japa, to raise a communion with the cosmic mind, to raise energy, abundant energy within yourself. So, in order to accomplish that, with all sincerity, if you retain your attention while observing these kriyas, these acts, these rituals, you really feel entirely different. As I may go on to mention, that if this preparation is given full attention and seriousness, you can retain the focus of your mind for a considerable period of time. I am not promising you that your mind shall not wander. I'm not promising that to you. But yes, can be rest assured that if you do that, if you do these exercises for a considerable period of time, your attention can be retained for a considerable period of time. And even if you are able to retain your attention for a considerable period of time, now understand the kind of deep change that you shall be able to observe during that period of japa. And the difference will be apparent, can be deeply felt the moment you are done with that. You'll feel the difference within yourself, in your eyes, in your mind, the kind of harmony which has percolated down deep into you, the light, the lightness within you, the kind of confidence that you'll feel within yourself will be entirely different. So, there are two more kriyas to be mentioned, and that we shall take up in the next episode of this ongoing series under Saturday's Sattva upon mystical Gayatri Mahamantra. ओम ही सत्य है, ओम ही सत्य है, ओम ही सत्य है.